Hey guys. So I'm gonna wait just a second to have some peeps pop on, and I'm just tagging the peeps that are just popping up, so don't feel any type of way. Please tag any team members that you have so that we can chat. Hey Taylor, I hope you are doing well. Like I said, I'm just gonna wait just a second and then I'm gonna get started because I am on the way to get my daughter and she's cray. Tag any team members that you have that are already on the leaders page. I wanted to come on here and give y'all some love this morning, y'all. This afternoon. Okay, so if you want to be a director, you gotta act like a director. Okay? And so that is what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, because that post that I did earlier about the perks of being a director, and there were so many comments, y'all got me real hyped. So the number one thing that you can do if you want to promote to director this fall is to increase your PRV. And I know people on here are like, what? Chastity always talks about sponsoring. Yes, you have to sponsor, you have to coach, you have to do those two things. But guys, if your PRV is less than 1,000, you're not selling enough. And I know that that sounds harsh, and I know that 500 is the minimum, but 500 isn't the minimum that we do around here. We do 1,000. So, and the reason why I say that you need to increase your PRV is because if you're only having $500, $600, $700 worth of PRV, you're not talking to enough people. You're not partying enough. And if that's what your PRV is looking like and you're saying you can't sponsor, that's why. Because high PRV, sponsoring comes from that. Because if you're having high PRV, that means you are doing parties, you are doing a lot of customer follow-up, you're asking for referrals, you're doing buddy drives, you're doing all the things if you have high PRV. So if you're telling me that you can't sponsor, but your PRV has been in 500, 600, 700, I'm going to tell you to stop trying to sponsor everybody and you need to go increase that PRV. That's the first thing that everybody really needs to reflect on, is where is your PRV? Because since this pandemic has happened, I've not had a month where my PRV is under 4,000. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because I've been super intentional, because I've had more time at home and more people are at home, that I have been building a lot more relationships, and I've been building a lot of contacts that I didn't have before. So if you want to be a director, you need to increase your PRV. That's the first thing that you need to be doing. The next thing is sponsoring, but this is my issue that I am seeing with our group and sponsoring. We're not training them, or we're tagging them on team page posts or in the new consultant album, and they're not getting trained appropriately. And that's not training somebody. And you can't get to director alone. And if we're sponsoring people, we need to be offering to throw them their launch party. Whether that means in a Facebook group, whether that means in person, we need to be launching their business with them. You are their person. I have been guilty of not doing that. We all have. But we need to flip the script, change our perspective, and realize that we have to help these people launch their business. They don't know what they're doing. That is why they have a sponsor. So we need to be launching their business, because if you can train them and get them launched from the get-go, number one, that's going to set the precedence for them to do the exact same thing with their teammates, and then you're not having a team full of people that don't know what they're doing. But it also is going to set both of you guys up for success. You are going to feel really good about it. They are going to feel good about it, and you are going to be able to show them what it looks like to do that. So whatever launching their business looks like, they need to launch it. Okay? Something else, if you want to be a director, you need to act like a director. Guys, it is not your director's job to shout out your team members. And we've gotten a lot better about that, but guys, you have to shout out your team members, not just your director. Recognize behaviors that you want repeated. That is as simple as talking about Cincy and their story. That is as simple as posting a selfie with a product. Guys, that's hard for people. Being vulnerable is hard for people. So you need to recognize the behaviors that you want repeated. Screenshot it, post it on your director's team page. I see you working. Shout out when someone gets active for the first time, or active by the second day of the month. You don't have to do it on your team page. If you have like a smaller team page outside of like your directors, please do it on both. And I know that seems redundant, but that is going to breed energy into everyone, not just your team. And we can't do this alone. You can't get a director alone. This business wasn't made to be done alone. So you've got to recognize behaviors that you want repeated, and you need to start now. That doesn't mean you need to mail things out. That doesn't mean you have to go and buy a bunch of stuff. You don't have to do that. Something as simple as a voice text, a shout out on the team page, a quick thank you note, it doesn't matter. You need to start now so that you can get in the rhythm of recognizing those behaviors, okay? Something else is never do anything alone. So if you have a big task that you need to do in your business, you need to make samples, you need to stuff your bag parties, whatever it is that you need to do, pop on a Zoom and do it with your team. Post a Zoom on our team page and say, hey, I'm going to be putting my bag parties together. Does anybody just want to open up a Zoom and chat while we do it? Guys, that's what this is all about. And I've been really bad about it again, just getting to work. And it's not right of me. I need to be showing you guys exactly how I'm working and to never do anything alone. Okay? So I'm going to recap what I've said so far, because so many people have just now popped on. If you want to be a director, you need to increase your PRV. If your PRV has only been $500, $600, $700, it's not enough. You have got to increase your PRV. You need to sponsor, but you also need to launch your people's businesses with them. And something else that a lot of people don't realize is that if you can build 4-star consultants in your downline, preferably frontline, if you can build 4-star consultants, that has you at director numbers. But sometimes people get so caught up with just one person, and one person cannot carry your team, because what happens when one person and their team is carrying your team, if they promote to director, then you're going to be in a world of hurt, because you still have team numbers that you have to hit when someone underneath you is director. That's just another topic of discussion. But 4-star consultants equals director numbers. Okay, now I'm not saying that's the only way you can get there. Obviously, there's tons of other ways. But if you shoot for that, and you're shooting for annual mentor, and you're shooting for annual sales, director, incentive, all of the things are going to come. Every bit of it. And something else that directors do, they have systems in place. And I know that there are a lot of leaders on our page that don't have systems in place. So what I am doing starting Monday is I did a program called Build It Big, and I am running that program again through this leadership page. And I hope that every single one of you guys that say that you want to be a director are going to do that program within this group. Because if you're not showing up for those activities and you're not showing up to do those things, I'm not going to get on the phone and coach you. I'm not. Your director shouldn't get on the phone and coach with you either, because if you're a leader, you need to show up. Okay? You need to show up. And something that you guys need to, that I think a lot of people are just not doing, when somebody asks you how much something is, tell them they can have it free. It's that simple. Don't tell them the price. Be like, I can get it to you for free. And they're going to be like, how? And you're going to explain. Just get 5 or 6 of your friends to order some wax. You get that free. You get it half off. Every single thing in our catalog can be free. Everything. So do not just accept an order. Offer them the party. Say, well, we could get you that for free. Do you have 3 or 4 friends that might want to go in and order with you? Stop taking orders. We got to stop. We've got to party. We've got to build our client base. We've got to have high PRV if you want to be a director. Yes, you need to sponsor, but high PRV always comes or follows sponsoring, because you're talking to so many people. You have the opportunity to flip parties and all of those things. I'm going to challenge you to have 3,000 PRV in August. I know that seems like a lot, but I'm challenging every single one of you to 3,000 PRV. Why? Because that's about 1/3 of the way to director. Why? Because it's the launch of the catalog season, and you don't need to be taking anybody's order. You need to be getting bags out. You need to ask them if they want to have a text party. Ask them if they want to have a Facebook party. If you don't know how to do those things, go search. YouTube, workstation. If you don't know how to do something, a fundraiser, somebody asked me about my sponsor, a student. YouTube videos are there for a reason. Go do your research first, and then come back and ask follow-up questions. But I am challenging you to have 3,000 PRV and to engage on your people's team pages and tell them the conversations that you have. Show them the posts that you did. Show them the things that you're doing that have worked for you, and share the wealth. Because we can't get to director alone. You're not going to get there alone. You have to have 3 active frontline. That's a whole nother discussion. We need to have way more than 3 active frontline. But I just pulled up at my daughter's school, so I'm going to go in there and pick her up. But I want to see every single one of y'all get to director. If you are struggling with PRV or with sponsoring, take a look at your PRV. Ask yourself if your PRV is where it's needed to be. Challenge yourself to front load. Challenge yourself to stop taking orders. Tell people they could have it for free. Launch your new teamies businesses. If you haven't had a launch party for your new teamies that have joined this month, now's the time. Tomorrow is the time. Let's have those launch parties. Let's get them certified. Everybody is better together. And we've got to remember that. There's room for every single person on this page at the top. And if you are believing that that's not true, that's out of a scarcity mindset. That is a scarcity mindset, because guys, reunion, they told us 49% of people in the United States don't know what Scentsy is. We have a dang job to do, y'all. 49% of people in the world, or in the US, do not know what Scentsy is. I meet people all the time that don't know. So we have got a lot of work to do to make the world a better scented place. Happy month end. I love y'all. Let's have the best fall ever.